My name is Clark, and I spent 6 years building what I thought was a perfect marriage with Hannah. We met in college, got married at 25, bought a house in the suburbs. Everyone said we were the ideal couple. Then, last Tuesday, everything changed. "Clark, honey, can you come here?" Hannah called from the bathroom. I set down my coffee and walked upstairs. "What's up?" She was standing there holding a pregnancy test, tears streaming down her face. "We're going to have a baby!" "That's amazing," I said, pulling her into a hug. My mind was racing. We're going to have a baby. Except that was impossible. "I can't believe it," she sobbed into my shoulder. "After all this time trying, it finally happened." "I know, sweetheart, I know." What Hannah didn't know was that I'd had a vasectomy 3 years ago. I'd never told her. We'd been trying for a baby for 2 years before that, and the doctors said she was perfectly healthy. I got tested too, and that's when I found out I'd been sterile since birth due to a childhood illness I'd had. Rather than devastate her, I'd quietly gotten a vasectomy to avoid awkward questions about why we should stop trying. I figured if we never conceived, we'd eventually adopt or move on. "We should celebrate," I said, keeping my voice steady. "Let me take you to dinner tonight." "Really? Oh, Clark, you're the best husband ever." The best husband. Right. That evening at the restaurant, I watched her glow with excitement. "I'm thinking we should tell your parents this weekend," she said, "and my mom will absolutely flip." "Sure, babe, whatever you want." "Are you okay?" she asked. "You seem quiet." "Just processing everything," I said. "It's a lot to take in." "I know." She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "But we're in this together." Together. That word made my stomach turn. When we got home, Hannah went straight to bed, exhausted from the emotional day. I sat in my office staring at my computer screen. I pulled up my phone and texted my younger brother Tyler. "Need to talk. Tomorrow. It's urgent." His response came immediately. "Everything okay?" "No. Coffee at 9? I'll be there." The next morning, I met Tyler at our usual spot downtown. "What's going on?" he asked as soon as I sat down. "You look terrible." "Hannah's pregnant," I said flatly. His face lit up. "Dude, that's awesome! Congratulations!" "Tyler, I had a vasectomy 3 years ago. Before that, I found out I was sterile from that illness I had when I was 12. The color drained from his face. "What?" "She's pregnant, and it's definitely not mine." Holy shit. He leaned back in his chair. "Does she know about the vasectomy?" "No. I never told her about being sterile either. I didn't want to hurt her." "So she's been," he trailed off, "cheating on me, yeah." Tyler ran his hand through his hair. "What are you going to do?" "I don't know yet," I said, "but I need to be smart about this." "Have you noticed anything weird? Any signs?" I thought back over the past few months. She's been working late a lot, Thursday nights especially. Says it's a project with her team. Every Thursday? For about 4 months now. "Clark, you need a lawyer." "I know." I pulled out my phone. "I'm calling one today." That afternoon, I sat in the office of Jessica Williams, one of the top divorce attorneys in the city. "So let me make sure I understand," she said, reviewing her notes. "Your wife is pregnant, you've had a vasectomy, and she doesn't know you're sterile?" "Correct." "And you want to file for divorce?" "Yes, but I want to do this strategically," I said. "I don't want her to know I know until everything's in place." Jessica nodded. "Smart. We'll need documentation. Do you have proof of the vasectomy?" "Medical records from Dr. Patterson. I can get them sent over." "Perfect. What about assets?" "The house is in both our names, but I paid the down payment for my inheritance. I have bank records proving it. Good. What else? Joint savings account with about $80,000. My 401k. Her car is paid off. Mine has 2 years left. Jessica made notes. I'll need you to document everything. Bank statements, property records, all of it. Don't let her know you're gathering this information. What about proving the affair? Do you know who it is? Not yet, but I'm going to find out. She leaned forward. Here's what we're going to do. Keep acting normal. Don't confront her yet. Gather evidence. Once we have everything we need, we'll serve her with divorce papers and hit her with everything at once. How long will this take? Give me 2 weeks to prepare everything. Can you hold out that long? I can do whatever it takes. That night, I came home to find Hannah on the couch, scrolling through baby name websites. What do you think about Oliver for a boy? She asked. It's nice, I said, sitting next to her. Or if it's a girl, maybe Emma? Those are both great choices, Han. She snuggled against me.
I love you so much, Clark. You're going to be an amazing father.
The words felt like knives. I kissed the top of her head. I love you too. Over the next week, I became a detective in my own home. I checked her phone while she showered, found messages to someone saved under Andrea from yoga. The messages were deleted regularly, but I could see the frequency, multiple times per day. I installed a tracking app on her phone under the guise of a safety feature for the pregnancy. Thursday rolled around again. I've got that late meeting tonight, Hannah said that morning. Probably won't be home until 9. No problem. I'll grab dinner with Tyler. I watched the tracking app from a restaurant across town. Her phone pinged at a hotel 20 minutes from our house. I called Tyler. She's at the Riverside Inn. Want me to come with you? No, just keep your phone on. I drove to the hotel and waited in the parking lot. At 8:47 p.m., Hannah walked out. With a man. He was tall, athletic, probably late 20s. They kissed before getting into separate cars. I took photos of everything. Back home, I forwarded the photos to Jessica Williams. Her response came within minutes. Perfect. This is exactly what we need. Let's meet tomorrow. The next day, Jessica laid out the strategy. We have proof of adultery, proof you're not the father, and documentation of all marital assets, she said. Here's what I propose. We file for divorce, request a paternity test through the court, and go for a fault-based divorce in your favor. What does that mean for the settlement? It means you get the house, majority of savings, and she gets nothing. The adultery works heavily in your favor, especially since she's trying to pass off another man's child as yours. When do we do this? I'll have papers ready by Monday. We'll have her served at work. Monday morning, I woke up before Hannah. I made coffee, scrambled eggs, acted like everything was normal. You seem happy today, she said, sipping her decaf. I smiled, just thinking about the future. Me too. I have my first OB appointment next week. Will you come? Wouldn't miss it, I lied. She left for work at 8:30. I waited exactly 1 hour, then called Jessica. She just got served, Jessica confirmed. Courthouse runner delivered them to her office 15 minutes ago. How long until she calls? Any minute now. My phone rang at 10:03 a.m. Hannah's name lit up the screen. I answered. Hey, babe. Clark, what the fuck is this? Her voice was shaking. Divorce papers? Are you insane? I'm perfectly sane, actually. This says adultery. This says you're claiming the baby isn't yours. Have you lost your mind? No, Hannah. I know exactly what I'm doing. Clark, please. We need to talk about this. Come home right now. I'm not coming home. That's my house, but you can stay there until the hearing. Your house? We bought it together. Actually, I bought it with my inheritance. Check the papers. My lawyer has all the documentation. She started crying. Please, Clark, please don't do this. I love you. You love me? That's interesting. Does Brandon know you love me? Silence. Yeah, Hannah, I know about Brandon. I know about the Thursday night meetings. I know about the Riverside Inn. Clark, I can explain. Don't bother. I also know that baby isn't mine. Can't be, actually. What are you talking about? Of course it's yours. Hannah, I had a vasectomy 3 years ago. Before that, I found out I was sterile from that illness when I was a kid. There is 0 chance that baby is mine. More silence. Then, you're lying. Medical records are attached to the divorce filing. Feel free to review them with your lawyer. Speaking of which, you should probably get one. Clark, please. I'll have my stuff moved out this week. You can keep living there until the court decides who gets what. But spoiler alert, I'm getting the house. This is insane. We can work through this. No, we can't. See you in court, Hannah. I hung up. 20 minutes later, Tyler called. Dude, Hannah just called me crying. She's freaking out. Good. She's saying it's all a misunderstanding, that you're being crazy. What did you tell her? I told her I stand with my brother. She didn't like that. That evening, I stayed at Tyler's apartment. My phone blew up with calls and texts from Hannah. Please come home. We need to talk. I made a mistake, but we can fix this. Think about the baby. I blocked her number and went to sleep. 2 weeks later, we sat in the conference room for mediation. Hannah looked terrible, pale, exhausted, eyes red from crying. Brandon wasn't there, which didn't surprise me. My attorney Jessica sat on my right. Hannah's lawyer, a tired-looking woman named Ms. Peterson, sat across from us. Let's begin, the mediator said. We're here to discuss the dissolution of marriage between Clark and Hannah Morrison.
Hannah looked at me. Clark, please, can we just talk for a minute?
That's what we're here for, I said calmly.
I mean alone, just you and me.
Jessica interrupted. All communication needs to happen in this setting, Mrs. Morrison. I made a mistake, Hannah said, tears starting. I was confused and scared and... Scared of what? I asked. Scared I'd find out you were sleeping with Brandon for 4 months? Miss Peterson cleared her throat. My client is willing to admit fault in exchange for a more equitable distribution of assets. Jessica laughed. Equitable? Your client committed adultery and attempted paternity fraud. There's nothing equitable about this situation. The house was purchased during the marriage, Ms. Peterson argued. With Mr. Morrison's inheritance money, Jessica countered. We have documentation proving he paid the entire down payment and the majority of the mortgage. Hannah turned to me desperately. Clark, remember when we picked out that house? Remember how happy we were? I remember, I said. I also remember you promising to love and honor me. How'd that work out? I do love you. You have an interesting way of showing it. The mediator intervened. Let's focus on the assets. Mr. Morrison is requesting full ownership of the marital home, 75% of joint savings, and his full 401k. That's outrageous, Ms. Peterson said. What's outrageous, Jessica replied, is your client carrying another man's child while married to mine. Hannah sobbed. It was one mistake, one time. Hannah, stop, her lawyer warned. But Hannah kept going. It just happened. Brandon and I used to date in college and we ran into each other and... So you had an affair with your ex-boyfriend, I said, got pregnant, and planned to let me raise his kid. Cool story. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were thinking clearly enough to lie to me every Thursday for 4 months. Tyler had arrived as my supporting witness. He spoke up from behind me. Did you even feel guilty, Hannah? She turned to him. Tyler, please. You've known me for 6 years. You know I'm not a bad person. Bad people do bad things, Tyler said. Good people own up to them. You did neither. The mediator looked uncomfortable. Perhaps we should take a break. No, I said. Let's finish this. Hannah, are you going to agree to the terms or not? I can't afford to start over with nothing. You should have thought about that before sleeping with Brandon. Ms. Peterson jumped in. My client needs time to process. Your client has had 2 weeks, Jessica said. Either she agrees to these terms, or we go to court and she gets even less. Hannah looked at her lawyer desperately. Can she do that? Ms. Peterson sighed. Given the evidence of adultery and the vasectomy records, yes. A judge would likely rule in Mr. Morrison's favor on all counts. What about the baby? Hannah whispered. What about it? I asked. Will you, child support? You want me to pay child support for Brandon's kid? Are you serious right now? No, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's not my problem anymore, Hannah. Maybe Brandon can help you out. She started crying harder. He won't return my calls. He said he's not ready to be a father. Tyler snorted. Sounds like you picked a real winner. This is all just a nightmare, Hannah said. Please, Clark, please forgive me. We can start over. I'll do anything. I don't want you to do anything, I said. I want you to sign the papers and move on with your life. But I love you. You don't love me. You love the life we had. Big difference. The mediator cleared his throat. Mrs. Morrison, do you agree to the proposed terms? She looked at her lawyer, who nodded reluctantly. Do I have a choice? Hannah asked. Not really, Ms. Peterson admitted. Hannah picked up the pen with shaking hands and signed. It's done, the mediator announced. Mr. Morrison retains the house, 75% of joint savings, and his full retirement account. Mrs. Morrison retains her vehicle and 25% of joint savings. I stood up. Thank you all for your time. As I walked out, Hannah called after me. Clark, wait! I turned around. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. But you did hurt me, Hannah. And now you have to live with that. Is there any chance? No, there's no chance. We're done. Tyler clapped me on the shoulder as we left the building. How do you feel? Honestly, relieved. She really thought you'd take her back. She thought wrong. Here's what I learned. Revenge isn't about anger. It's about justice. Have you ever discovered a betrayal that changed everything? What would you do if you found out your partner's pregnancy couldn't possibly be yours? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.